let's go. Let's continue with our discussion. So this discussion is once again, this is just for the video afterwards to understand how to analyze an HR campaign. So we're taking a look a little bit deeper into different layers of the campaign funnel, and then understanding what is the corresponding control that we have at that layer, and what can we do about that. So Arvi, you mentioned the measuring the impact of the distribution post, which is okay. That's one way we can understand if we have control, but that's not actually the thing that we do control. So let's go back to Kevin. Kevin, what can we control to actually to get distribution to turn into applicants? What is where do we develop our skills?
Um, I guess like aside from what I have mentioned, like considering the distribution channels that we choose, maybe readjusting the content to make it
Yes. Okay. Readjusting the content. What, like how?
um like for for this hiring campaign,
Hmm.
maybe like for the content of the like I don't know, like the wording or the how we construct the sentence to make it more attractive or
Okay.
inviting, or yeah, I think
Okay. Wording in
that's a part
what
of it.
particular document? What particular asset are we changing the wording to?
Oh, probably like the our job description or job listing and such.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Yes.
would
Okay. All
be
right. Very good.
good.
So let's go even deeper into this. In let's say your experience, RV, what impact does the job description have on its ability to convert awareness into applicants?
Okay, I think we have one example, which is when we were trying to hire CM manager role.
Hmm.
When the first time we use experience as leader as one of our
Mm.
preferences,
Hmm.
and then yeah, we attracted many people with very much experience,
Hmm.
but they actually do not really meet with our cultural fit. And
Mm.
then we revise the job description.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Uh,
Okay, so minimum job experience is a condition that could affect the conversion rate, right? From awareness to applicant,
yep.
and it could trigger false negatives. Okay, what about title, RV? Does the title of a particular job also, do you think that affects how many people will actually apply?
Yes, of course.
Hmm. Okay. And what titles should we use at Bukit Vista? Should we use like our own private language titles, or should we use titles that are a little bit better understood by the general population?
Yeah, this is actually what is interesting for me because when we do job listing, we do use titles that is used mainly by the society in
Mm-hmm.
Indonesia. But actually, the name of the position is different when they are already inside Bukit Vista. And I think that's good. Why? Because it's more easy to understand.
Hmm.
Like when people hear chapter leader, what is a chapter leader? Is it only a team in a division or department or what? Yeah. So that is my analysis, I
Okay,
guess.
very good. So, Kevin, why do you think it might be better to have a title on a job description that the outside world understands, and then transition to the word that we understand once the candidate has come inside the company?
I suppose it has to do like some to keep things relevant to them. Like
Okay.
they basically from just hopefully from knowing just from the job title that we provide there, they can already have a clear how do I say, maybe apa ya gambaran, clear overview or idea about the job that they are trying to apply to, instead of like using our specific terms, right? Internal company terms, which
Exactly.
would be
Okay.
confusing, I think.
Yep. Okay, so we can definitely look at the job title. We can also look at, like, say, minimum qualifications, right? Because those are also things that are inside the job description. I'll let you guys keep on developing that, right? This is just a conversation to open up that curiosity that within, if you want to convert more applicants or you want to convert more awareness into applicants, your main tool is the job description. And also, what else, Kevin? What else do we do to raise awareness that turns awareness into applicants? You do it a lot. It's part of the content too, as well, kind of.
Part of the content. Um, aside from the adjusting the like the way how we construct a sentence.
Answer's right here, Kevin. I'm helping you out.
Each university, number of partnership, outreach, university
Outreach, right?
outreach.
No, your
Okay.
outreach, right? When you do outreach letters, right?
Oh,
When you're doing
I
outreach,
thought that right. Okay, I thought for the hiring campaign we only talk about like LinkedIn and yeah, without no outreaching, without introduction letters first. But yeah, I
oh,
suppose like it works because we also outreach to like classes as like what you did right with Pak
yeah,
Ari. I think like yeah,
yeah,
it
yeah.
requires some introduction
We
beforehand.
always
So
do outreach, right? Like if we outreach and somebody doesn't post our distribution post, right? That is not successful outreach. And if the distribution post isn't written correctly, right, RV, then that is another form of our outreach. It's so job description we control, right? But distribution post we do not necessarily control. We don't really control when they're going to post it, and sometimes the content might not be exactly what we expected. So it's important then to actually look at that particular distribution post and analyze, does this post at this time through this channel using the content that you created to inform your communities, does this actually trigger your community to take action? Or did you post it on a Sunday and it was very unclear, there was no backlink on the distribution post? Those are ways that we need to maybe correct the direction of that. But that's outreach, right? That falls into the general category of outreach. How we correct that outreach then affects how we correct that distribution. Okay, so that is where we can work on if we want to improve awareness. So that is a good takeaway. So the takeaway here is improving awareness to applicants. I think, Kevin, you got it right. It's essentially readjusting the content, the wording on the job description, and also your outreach letters and this type of outreach, the quality of your distribution posts. These will all affect how much you convert. So if you're not converting or if things aren't flowing through, then that's what you need to take a look and innovate on. You need to innovate more on your job description, innovate more on your outreach, innovate more on those distribution posts so that they become better at converting. Okay, great. Now that we have applicants, let's go to the next level, RV. What is the thing that we control that moves applicants into trial applicants or on-site trials?
We do have two procedures actually. The first one is the skill test, the online
Mhm.
assessment, and also the interview.
Okay, skill test and interview. Okay, all right, great. Now let's go to RV. Let's say, for example, this is stuck, right? Let's say you have a layer of the funnel and stuck. There's a lot of applicants, but there's no untried trials. What could be the potential causes of that?
Um, it's actually one of the things that we are facing right now. It's the lack of assessor. Um, yeah, still preparing Vina.
Okay. Hey, perfect. Okay, all
That
right,
is
very good.
that is the technical, and then the second is actually the judgment.
Judgment. Okay, all right, interesting. Anything else?
Um, what else? Is it only something that we can control?
Yeah, we're only talking about the things that we can control. We don't need to talk about things that we can't control. We can't control what applicants do, right? That stuff is like up to them. But we
Mhm.
can control what we do. So anything else we can control.
Look. I think it's how we actually face the candidate because we are like the representative of the company. So if
Hmm.
um, we do like have respect and then also answering their inquiries well, and
Okay,
then yeah, those kind of things. It's small thing, but it actually matters.
I agree. Okay, all right. That's it's a different topic. That's related more to branding, more related to like, okay, how do we brand ourselves with potential employees? But let's go a little bit deeper into this. Let's go to Vina. Welcome, Vina. If we get stuck, if we have a lot of applicants, but we don't have people coming on for on-site trials, where do you think the problem could be?
Wait, let me think, sir.
Okay, all right. Well, Venus thinks it's good to Kevin. Kevin, what do you think?
I suppose like considering the recent events, like I maybe it's part of the system of our assessment as well. Like
Okay, system of
whether
assessment.
yeah whether it is actually like measuring what we are trying to measure from a candidate, because
Okay, are we
otherwise
measuring what
if
we
it's
want to measure?
wrong it
Okay.
will result the result. Okay, I think I lost my connection.
Oh, I can hear you good, Kevin. Yeah, you're all good.
No,
Okay,
we can hear
but
it.
yeah, basically that I think based on your current innovation, most recent innovation of our BD assessment, right?
Mhm.
We reevaluated like the system whether it is effective or not. Because
Let me
if
just
it's
understand that
not,
right.
then
Did,
yeah,
did you say innovation of the VD assessment or PD assessment?
no
I didn't
BD
catch that one.
business development, business
Ah,
development.
yes,
Yeah,
innovation of
the
the business.
one
Okay.
that you invited me to discussion.
Ah,
Yeah.
right. Okay. And Kevin, what did we hypothesize was happening? What was the reason why we need to innovate the BD assessment?
I think like what brought the topic up is that like the current BD assessment is I would say maybe questionable. Like we had to
Mhm.
like in terms of the process we have to make it quick and effective, right? Which is why you try to implement
Mm.
the I forgot the term, but yeah,
Speed
it's
and accuracy.
a mix of both. Yeah, yeah,
Speed and
it's
accuracy, right?
yeah, speed and accuracy, which is why you're
Okay.
mixing both methods into one.
Okay. Very good. Let's, Vina, do you have any thoughts for us?
I think the radical answer would be lowering our expectation.
Okay. All right.
This is
And
the outside trials, right? I
okay.
mean,
All right. That's
we can start to gamble here. I mean, this
okay.
is apa the rational part where we can gamble. I believe so.
Okay. All right. Let's do this. Lowering our expectations isn't a vision fit. It is essentially a compromise on our end objective, right? We want to essentially inspire light through innovations that positively transform guest partners and employees. We're looking for employees that will want to do the same, right? So if we lower our expectations, what we essentially do is we accumulate debt. We just pass the problem on to the team, and the team will eventually have to deal with people who don't have capacity or understanding, or they won't be able to do their job correctly. So that's not helping others first. In fact, that's passing sort of like problems onto other chapters. Okay, let's look at the potential problems. The potential problem is this. It goes back to the theme of what we were talking about before. It's speed versus accuracy, right? That's it. So one potential problem could be we are not passing true positives quickly enough through our assessment system, through our, let's just call it AS, right? This is our assessment system. That could be one problem, that the people who are really ready to go, we just take too long to bring them through because we don't really know how to quickly assess if they're good or not. The other problem could be we are stopping false negatives from reaching the end of the process, right? Or we're not, no, we're stopping. We are creating false negatives. So essentially, we are filtering out candidates that could be good, right? That could be another problem that you're having. Okay, the next problem you might be having is we are not getting qualified leads at all, right? The applicants are just completely below the minimum standard, and that could be the problem. What else could be the problem? Let's keep on working on this one. Let's go to Arvi. Arvi, what other potential issues might be happening that is stopping us from turning this thing over, right? So this goes to your problem. So the assumption is that we don't have enough assessors, right? But it could also be this, right? We don't have very skilled assessors, right? The assessors, they're okay, but they can't assess quickly, right? They're not like, oh, I can see this is a winner, this is not a winner, this is a winner, this is not a winner, right? They're like, I need to look at this for 3 days and then understand, and that will slow it down, okay? But Arby, let's go back to your side. Do you see any other things that we might be missing here? Any other reasons why we might not be able to get on-site trials from leads?
I'm still thinking, sir.
Okay, let's go over to Kevin. Kevin, can you think of any other reasons why we're not moving? Excuse me. Our professor visit is concluding. Okay, okay. Oh, fine. Thank you very much. Actually, good time. Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, wait. I have a gift for you. Okay, wait. I have a gift always. Let me see if I have a gift. Maybe I don't have a gift. Okay. Yes. Here. Oh, Professor Ali, ini keychain Bukit Vista untuk masa depan, ya. So, ada key to success. Thank you, buddy. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm back. Okay. That was. Oh, we got pictures, right? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Hopefully, that gave everyone some time to think. Kevin, your thoughts?
Okay. I can at the moment I can only think I can only add up to Kak Arvi's point, like in terms of the your point actually the one that we're not passing through positives quickly enough. Like I think perhaps like there is no like clear expectation set at the moment, like between Kak, for example, between Mas Rizal and Kak Shellen, like perhaps they don't like communicate clearly. Like I expect the results to be assessed within 1 day, and for you to get back to me immediately. They just yeah. I suppose it can be also part of the problem, like having no clear expectation as for the timing of the assessment.
Okay, that is interesting. Okay. Good. Okay, all right, more reasons there. Let's go top level again. Vina, is there any other top level issues that you think are here? Speed versus accuracy. Is there any other things that we're not doing?
Yes, I think the sub discussions for we are not getting qualified applicant leads. Do we already consider about the competitions that apa that is already there while looking for the job market? We might have an opening for high in demand positions, right? But we I think we don't study the competitions yet. I mean,
Cool.
about what maybe pay and benefits that we are offering. Not
Okay.
not that that not
Can
that
we control
satisfaction
that?
term. What
But
can
can we
we
control
offer?
that?
Sorry, sir.
Can we control that easily? Can we control what our competitors are doing?
Um, Actually, we could. No, not really.
No, not really,
Cannot.
right? I mean, your competitors could do anything they want, right? They can pay a person $1 million just to show up with the suit and tie. So in that aspect, it's an interesting tangent, right? But we don't have that much control over it. We have control over, let's say, look, this person has applied already, Vina. This is not a question of whether or not this person was interested in the job or not. If we didn't get any applicants, then yes, we can look at the competition in the market. Maybe we're not offering a role that's interesting for the value or whatever it is. But this is somebody who's applied. So this has more to do with our own internal selection process than actually the attraction process, right? If we didn't get any applicants, then yes, it's time to take a look at that and ask, are they going away right now? But the general mood in the market is there's probably not a lot of jobs available compared to a year ago, compared to 2 years ago, right? But yet there is no less people graduating and no less people entering the job market than a year or 2 years ago. So in that perspective, it actually should be very competitive at this point. We should be very competitive in terms of a market landscape. But that's a good point. It's a valid point. Let's keep on going. All right, we need to think about also this. Maybe we are taking too long to find the true negatives and the true. Okay, we already said that, right? We're not passing through. We are taking too long to find true negatives, right? Is it taking us, are we quick at identifying if somebody is actually a fit or not? Or do we take like 2 weeks, 2 interviews, 3 interviews to actually find that out? That could be another problem that we're facing, right? And we are maybe, what is left over? True positive, true negative, false negative. Um, and true negatives, false positives. Ooh, this one makes my brain kind of twirl a little bit. What is a false positive? True positive is okay. False negative. Okay. False positive. False positive. You think they're going to be okay? Wait. Let's go to RV. RV. What's a false positive?
Someone that our expectation is high for them, but they actually don't meet the expectation.
All right. That's it. Right.
They are
Okay.
not as good.
That's what we want to take a look at. Maybe that could be a problem. What do you think, RV? Do you think this could be a problem as well? Are we taking too long to find true negatives and taking too long to find false positives?
It's actually a case in not the last trial, but the previous trial from the last trial. Because in
Mm-hmm.
marketing team, I think they didn't realize that they can terminate people from the day one. So they make it to the day six until the presentation,
Yeah.
only to like see that the presentation is just what as expected, that it's not very good. So
Right.
yes, I think it is better for us to point out false positives as soon as we can.
Right. Right. Okay. How many interviews have passed me so far, RV?
I'm sorry, pass,
How many interviews have I passed so far?
bypass. I'm sorry, I cannot hear you.
Uh, how many interviews have I passed so far? Okay, wait, let me write
For
that
what
down.
position?
For any position.
Yeah, you're still writing down, right?
Okay, I'll write it down. Okay. How many
I'm sorry.
interviews has Jing passed so far?
2 for marketing?
Yes, correct, 2. Now, how many interviews have I had?
Yeah, it's a lot. I didn't know.
Right.
I have
And
to
then the
see the
question is,
Trello first.
okay, so I've had about 6 interviews and passed about 2 candidates, right?
Hmm.
The question can also be, did they need
Yes.
to get so far down the process before we disqualified them?
Hmm. That could be the question of the standard of the first interview then.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I think the judgment of me and Shailin for the senior position. I think Shailin have better judgment for the senior position, and then what else? Um, yeah, I think I already sent you the takeaways from the hiring
Yep.
course from LinkedIn, and then
Yep.
one of the things that I learned is actually
Yes.
biases
Yes. Very
towards
good.
people who we think are good.
Hmm.
It's actually back to the true positive, false positive, true negative,
Yep.
false negative,
That's important. Okay.
and in
Uh,
spotting those things.
okay. We need to take into account our personal biases. Okay. Let's go to Vina. Vina, what new innovation have we created that might be able to help us reduce the time and improve the accuracy of a senior leader fit?
What are the innovations that have been done?
What innovation did we create or that we're working on right now that might improve the accuracy and the speed at which we detect good candidates for senior roles?
Mm, I think strengthen our intuitions through
No,
organized
we have a document.
candidate tracking board.
Set of questions.
No, no, yeah,
What?
Army.
It was the set of questions that you made with Jin.
Yes, yes, the mission core value job
Well,
interview template.
we need to renew the set of questions.
Okay, so we
Mhm.
need to understand when we come across an innovation. The point of making this core value and mission job interview is to enable everybody, even if you're new in the company, right, to have that judgment that Vina was talking about. So if you ask this question about, let's say, any candidate, then you should be able to start seeing, okay, does this person actually have the correct mission fit? If they start explaining their story and they start touching upon all the core values without being prompted, no leading questions, Vina, then it probably means that they think the way that we need them to think, right? And that would be a good senior role fit. In fact, it'd be a good fit for anybody, in fact, right? So this particular way is what I think is actually one of the keys, right? Is it that we're not actually passing true positives quickly? That could be it. All right. So we need probably a faster assessment tool, something that improves the speed and accuracy. Are we creating false negatives? That's possible too, right? As RV noticed, job qualifications with minimum 2 years of experience that might preclude certain people from applying, right? But are we actually just taking too long to find true negatives and false positives? Yeah, I've experienced that. How many weeks did we spend on the first 4 people that I did not pass? Right. We spent a lot of time on the reference check. We spent a lot of time on the interview. But if we have a really good first assessment, right, that gets that through, then that reduces this particular problem. I think this is the primary problem that we have at the moment, right, which is that we're taking a long time to decide if somebody's not going to be a fit. So, okay, this hopefully this starts making more sense, right? And the thing that we control is we control the assessment. So Vina, we built a hybrid assessment for the sales and BD role. Can you describe to Arvi what that looks like?
Sorry, sir.
Okay, so we built a new type of assessment process for the sales and BD role. Can you tell us a little bit about what that looks like?
About sales and BD role?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think
we
you
built it.
discussed that with me, sir.
Yes, we did. You went and you
Uh,
were participating in the formation of it.
the job description?
No.
What? What link? What link, Pak Kevin?
Okay, we need to understand the work and what the purpose of our work is. Vina, what do we ask you to do to help create a new sales and business development evaluation?
Oh my God. Yeah, actually, I do not involved in that making of the evaluation, sir. I only delegated to distribute it for people.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
So
And what
I
did you
have
get
no
back from the
idea.
distributions? What did you get back
Sorry,
from the
sir?
distributions?
What did I get back from the distribution?
Uh-huh.
It's not very satisfying because turns out these participants did not read the instruction carefully.
Sure. Okay.
Uh,
That's let's go beyond that. What was the purpose of that particular? What are you trying to build? What's the cathedral?
so that we can find correct candidates based on the apa based on the problems that has been through by
Okay.
the previous professionals.
Yes. Yes. And then we can understand how they think. Kevin, let's have Kevin. Kevin, tell Arvi what is the new innovation that we made in the sales and BD evaluation, and were we able to compromise speed and accuracy?
Okay, so yeah, with the new BD evaluation or assessment format, we actually asked, so from some of our staff members in the marketing chapter, so from Rizal and Mokwayana and yeah, several others, to provide us some cases that they have been through, like difficult cases, like when
Yes.
converting like meetings to leads, or leads to meetings, or meetings to deals. Yeah, we asked them to provide some cases to for us to study, and then we will like give from there we will take the cases that they have given to create assessment, and then this is to assess like the potential candidates for our sales and business development, and then from there maybe to
Mhm.
like see whether they have the potential to like they have the skills to like give us ideas to solve the difficult cases that our marketing chapter has been through. And I think from there it also like how do I say, it also it should give us more accuracy in terms of the results, right? Because we will give them like a case to study, and if they exhibit behaviors or skills that seem like um, basically if they can answer the case studies that we have provided, then they have the skills needed for our sales and business development, right? So I think this one is
Okay.
should be better than the previous sales and business development assessment.
Okay, slow down there. Slow down there, Kevin. You got some parts right, but some parts I think need a little bit of correction. Okay. What was the problem with the old evaluation? Was it that it was not accurate, or was there another problem with that old evaluation?
Yeah, I think it also took like a long time, a quite long time, because we
Right. It
need
was the speed
to
component.
generate yeah.
Right. So because it took so long to actually do the evaluation, and so few people actually attempted it, right, as well, there was essentially that was the main problem. It was the speed. But what about the accuracy? Which test do you think would actually produce a more accurate evaluation of a candidate? Is it the new test that we have on the case study, or is it the existing test on creating all the pitch decks and the improvements in the sales process?
New test, because we it's a mix of both, right? Instead of like the previous assessment where it is only like pretty much a written assessment or evaluation, which I think naturally it would be less accurate.
No. Okay.
Wait, what?
No. Okay, let's rewind a bit. Let's rewind a bit. All right. So the old test was fine, actually. The old test was very, very thorough. It's actually more thorough than the new test. The old test had things like, okay, improve the pitch deck so that it generates more conversion, right? It has another part of evaluate essentially. I forgot a few. It was actually harder. The old test was harder. The only problem with it is that it was just really slow. Having somebody waiting for somebody to finish that was just way too slow. So what we did was essentially we added this first layer in the front, right? So this first layer is essentially just a quick screener. This will get rid of this improves this part, right? It will shorten the time to find true negatives and shorten the time to find false positives, right? But the people we get after the first new evaluation, right, the case study evaluation, we still don't really know if they're true positives or false negative, or they are false positives. Okay, so sorry, we don't know if they're true positives yet. So during the trials, Kevin, that's when we applied the second test. Well, actually, it was the first one in sequence, but that's where we applied the old test, right? The old evaluation. So then that's when they actually get a chance to demonstrate, do they actually do it better? So we think that that will provide 2 layers of accuracy, but it will greatly improve that conversion from applicants to on-site trials. Okay, so that part I think is important to understand. We did not want to just replace one test with the other test. It's simply that we put a fast test in the beginning so that we can start getting people in, and then the slow test comes in during trials, and that's where we can see the complete abilities of the candidate. Okay, Kevin, does that make sense now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I don't think I was only involved. Yeah, yeah, makes sense.
Okay. I think we just talked about it actually at one of the last things. So if it doesn't make sense, then just go back and watch the video part, right? That should get us back in. But I think, Kevin, that was a good attempt. Be the hero. Yeah, good at trying it out. But the actual design of it is to improve the speed and the accuracy, not compromise speed for accuracy. A case study test is it's less thorough, to be honest. It's just, can this person answer really quickly? And if they can, they might have other issues that they cannot do. They might not be able to innovate, right? So, okay, let's go and take this back up to the very top again, okay? So this is what essentially I wanted to do in this workshop. So once you understand what you control, then it becomes much, much easier to look at a problem and understand, okay, where is the friction? So let's see. This one's pretty simple. Kevin, what is the friction in this funnel? At what layer does the flow stop?
Wait a moment, sir. The screen is cracking on my side, so I'm opening
Oh, I see.
Trello on my side. So yeah, wait.
Okay.
I think at the moment, um, the question was where, in which stage is stuck, right, for the funnel. Okay, so I think in terms of applicants, we are already like generating better numbers compared to last Scrum.
Yes, we are.
So perhaps the next stages, which is A2.1, A2.2, I mean, it's still in process, but I don't believe that is stuck though.
There's no number. I mean, Kevin, so we don't know if it's stuck or not, right?
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, I should have. Yeah. Okay. For the number, yeah. I believe for KRV already processed some qualified applicants, right? But yeah, it's still on process for the rest of the funnel. It's still ongoing, but I don't think it is stuck. But yeah, I should have been clearer. I will update for the number 000.
Okay, all right. Vina, do you agree with Kevin's analysis, or do you have a different opinion?
I think I have different opinion. I think yes, there is no number in that, but it is I think stuck in the middle funnel.
Okay.
Where the
What layer?
What layer?
Yep. What layer?
A1 to 3.
Yeah,
Sir.
kind of. Yeah. There's no progression from A1 to 3 yet from A1 to 3 to A2.1, right? So yeah, that's where I would analyze. I say if you were chairing or if you're a campaign manager, that's where I would focus on. Why is it that we're getting applicants but no interviews? And let's go back here, right? It could be that maybe we don't have enough assessors. RV could be correct. There's not enough people to assess and interview the applicants. Or maybe we're inviting too many applicants to interviews that are non-conclusive, right? Or maybe we're not using the right interview to actually determine, who should be interviewed. So I think this one is for first interview candidates. I'm actually not sure. There actually should be no friction because if the friction should be we just haven't, or we invited the applicants but they didn't show up, right? Wait, let me ask Kevin actually. Kevin, what is the reason that there are no first interview candidates for this particular campaign?
Um, so this one is Kak Arvid is the one that is screening, right? So I believe if there is no like update at the moment first interview candidates, it's probably because like Kak Arvid has already screened which CVs are qualified and contacted, but they haven't like set a schedule on the Google Calendar, which
Okay.
would explain why there's no update. So maybe Kak Arvid can also add up to this.
Okay, but that analysis, Kevin, assumes that there would be no qualified applicants, right? We would not see 4 qualified applicants. We, in that case, would see just 0 qualified applicants. So there are qualified applicants. Let's go to RV. RV, what do you think? What is the reason we're not moving from qualified applicants to first interviews?
Yeah, it's actually just like what Kevin said.
Okay.
Because yeah, no one signed up for the first interview yet.
Ah, okay. So we are inviting, but they are not signing up. I see. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay, so we're taking too long to
Usually
find.
it can takes usually it can takes 1 to 2 days for them to sign up. Sometimes they sign up like directly after we invite them, but sometimes yeah.
Okay, and what is the length of time that they have for signing up for an interview? Is it 2 days into the future? Is it 20 days in the future? Is it like what do you think is the time limit for them to sign up?
Ah, I see. You haven't set a time limit actually. So yeah, I think we can do that from now on.
Let's do 2 time limits, right? One is the time limit from the time you've been invited to schedule an interview to the time you actually schedule an interview. Maybe we need to have a time limit there. The second is a time range. How far into the future you can set an interview. If you set an interview for 20 days from today, then that pushes our SLA really, really far back, right? But if you say, hey, look,
Yes.
you have 2 days to set an interview in the next 5 days, right? Then that kind of then creates a little bit compression then in this particular process, and that will help you also deliver the SLAs. Yeah. Aha. Interesting. Okay, we debugged it. Dude, is that a bug in the system then, RV? Do you think that was a good debugging? Okay, RV likes it. Yeah. Okay, good. So okay, that's good. That's what we do actually. Okay, that feeling that RV just got, like, oh hey, I found a place where I can innovate. That is the point of having Scrum, right? The point of having Scrum is not to necessarily just repeat your numbers and okay, I've done this. Okay, this is it. The point of having Scrum is to look at where is the potential issue and why is there an issue at that particular layer. So the first thing, Kevin, is to be very vigilant. Okay. Um, One, we need the data. So Kevin should obviously have the data there. 2, if the data says it's 0 to 0 3 times in a row, then it means that there is a problem with the flow, right? So if we're not getting any movement at a particular layer, it means that layer is stuck. So we need to look at the layer before it and ask, is that passing enough people into the next layer? Okay. So that's an example of how we detect. But we detect it and then we go back to the control. We think about what do we actually control, and then we work on the control part. Vina, we can't work on things that are not within our control. we can't work on if a candidate got another offer somewhere else, or a competitor took them away, or if there was an explosion in their village and everyone lost internet. Those things we cannot control. But we can control getting more applicants. We can control thinking of ways to limit the time that applicants have to sign up for interviews. We can think about the quality of our content. These are the things that we innovate on, and these are the ways that we get that's how we inspire delight. When we can do this like very fluidly, with high amounts of competence and high amounts of delivery, then we are doing our job really, really well. Okay, let's take a look at another example and see where we might find a bug. Okay, Cynthia is not here. Actually, Cynthia is here, but okay. Let's take a look at this funnel. So far, oh, interesting. All right, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at Vina. Vina, what is your assessment of this funnel? Is it working? Is it not working? Is it stuck? Is it not stuck? What do you think it is?
I think it hasn't updated for today, sir. It is still on 8 March. But on the current condition, it is progressively increasing, and there is no, yeah.
Let's go double check with RV. RV, do you agree or disagree with Vina? Nope, RV might not be there. That's okay. RV, RV's there. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's no progression from the first 8.2.1, even though we have more qualified applicants.
Right, good. You noticed that. Okay, there's something that's not really working up here, right? We have a lot of applicants coming in, Vina, but somehow we're not getting more candidates to the first interview. Once again, right? I wonder why, right? It could be the same problem, maybe RV, right? It could be that we haven't set time limits yet to the applicants on when they need to set up for a first interview. What do you think? Okay, all right. I'll jump over RV because her connection's a little bit delayed. Let's go to Kevin. Kevin, do you see any other things in this funnel that should be noteworthy and should catch our attention?
I suppose I think it's what Arvio has already mentioned, in terms of what really pops out the most, we have quite a massive increase in terms of the applicants, right? But there is only 2 increase in qualified applicants,
Yep.
which shouldn't be so. And also for the next stage of the funnel as well, for post interview candidates, it should also increase if there is quite a significant increase for the talent pools.
Correct. Okay. Vina, I know the numbers here might look good, right? Because they're all high numbers, but the fact is that there's no change in a lot of the numbers. 17 to 17, 5 to 5, 7 to 7, 2 to 2. So it means that nothing is actually moving. It's just where it was last time. This is always why we look at an old number and a new number so that we can see if there's change. If there's flow, then all the bottom numbers would always be moving. If there's no flow, then the numbers just stay the same. Old number is the same as the new number. So our new number is the same as the old number, and that indicates non-progression. Okay, that's pretty much it. That is the workshop today. Hopefully that is beneficial. Okay, so let me conclude it. So the thing to realize is, first thing you got to realize is what are the things that you control to innovate progression along each layer. So that part should be very much in your mind, right? How do I innovate my outreach? How do I innovate my invitation to a candidate? How do I innovate my my distribution posts so that I can get that effect? All these things actually can improve this particular numbers. And the second thing is to realize and just improve your awareness at looking at the numbers and realizing, oh, something's stuck or something's moving along. I think those are the 2 primary takeaways I want everybody to have, okay? When we have Scrum tomorrow, let's do that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the campaigns that you're responsible and identify which layer things are stuck, right? and then identify what is your solution. That is what we will start reporting, not what the numbers are, not what whatever is, Kevin, because looking at numbers and not understanding anything doesn't make us inspired, doesn't make us delighted. But being able to understand the insight and say, okay, I see that this is stuck here, and my plan to fix that is this. And that is how I think we can positively transform. Okay, everyone, have a great day. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you all later. And we'll look forward to a better Scrum tomorrow. Kevin, who's training tomorrow?